Hello, hi, hey there. My name is Alan. Welcome to Salty Smiles, a food show meant to make you smile. Helping me today is my dear friend, drumroll please, Bon. Hi Bon, how have you been? Bon, want to tell everyone what we're making today? That's right, Pad Thai Omelette. So let's get started. First things first, soak your rice noodles in warm water for 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, so now we have our rice noodles soaked, so we're moving on to prep. Let's put this down over here. The next thing you're going to want to do is chop your shallots and garlic. You can just do a coarse chop on these things. You don't need to go too fine, and you don't need to go too exact. If you go too fine on the garlic, it will definitely burn, and you don't want that. Next, chop your garlic chives into 1-inch pieces. If you can't find garlic chives, you can always use green onions. For protein, I'm using shrimp and tofu. Shrimp and tofu are the two most traditional ingredients in a pad thai. Next, we're going to make our pad thai sauce. Pad thai sauce is really easy to make. So you need water, you need fish sauce, you need tamarind concentrate or paste, and you need sugar. I also added lime for acidity. So once you have everything prepped, we've already chopped our garlic and shallots, we've chopped our chives, we've mixed together our daikon radish with our dried shrimp. We've made our sauce, chopped our things, chopped our protein, have our noodles soaking. So now it's time for cooking. So let's get cooking. Okay, cooking. To make pad thai, a lot of people will say you need a wok. You don't need a wok. I'm just gonna use a non-stick pan. So get your favorite non-stick pan out, which is this guy right here. Turn your stove on. Oh, make sure your stove works. My stove doesn't have gas right now, so we're gonna go get some gas. Okay, so let's start cooking. I found some gas, I put it in, and let's go. So, high heat, don't be afraid of it. Grab your cooking oil, and the first thing we're going to do is fry the tofu, and then we're going to fry the shrimp with the tofu, and then we're going to add some aromatics, and it's going to get real tasty. It's best to cook everything in batches if you have like a smaller pan. This would be way better than takeout, so yeah. Gotta wait for this to get hot. Okie dokie, it's hot. We're gonna take our tofu, season with a little salt. This was half a block of tofu that I patted dry and then, cubed. The tofu is gonna cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, maybe. Just depends on how crispy you wanna get it. Some of it's already getting a little bit of a color, and that's good, that's what we want, just a little bit of color. Okie dokie. So the tofu is basically where I want it. Just a little bit of color, crispy on all the edges. You don't want it too dark. So we're gonna go in with the shrimp, which are here. Here's the shrimp. This is local shrimp. This was caught off the Georgia coast. Isn't that nice? Local Georgia shrimp. This is a pound of large shrimp. Cooked shrimp? Cooked shrimp. Shrimp cooks super fast. So it's a nice, quick meal. We're going to season the shrimp just a little bit with some salt. And now that the shrimp have a little bit of color, I'm going to add half of the chopped garlic and shallot mixture that we prepared earlier. This is just going to perfume this a little bit. So the shrimp and the tofu have some flavor, some sabor. Shrimp are almost where I want them to be. You don't want them all the way done here, because if they're all the way done here, we're going to add them to the stir fry later, and they're going to overcook. So 80% done. So get yourself something to put them in. Okay, turn off the heat, transfer your protein over here. You don't need to wipe down this pan because we're going to stir fry everything else in it right now. And we are halfway done with Pad Thai omelet. Can you believe that? No, a third of the way done. Protein's done. We're gonna cook the noodles now, and then we're gonna make the omelet. So, high heat again. a little bit more oil. You can buy this off a boat in Thailand, and they'll hand it to you in a plastic bag. We're going to stir fry the garlic and shallots until they start getting a little brown. It's gonna happen pretty quickly because this pan's already hot. Once this turns brown, we're going to add, this is the chopped shrimp from earlier, the chopped dried shrimp and the preserved radish. So this is where I want it. A little bit of color in with this fun stuff. This smells so good. Okay, so now we're gonna add our noodles. So let's go find the noodles. So I don't like to drain these in the sink. I like to keep them in the water. You can keep them in the water for quite some time, like past the 30 minutes. But I like to lift it with all this extra liquid and put this liquid into the stir fry. So that's what we're gonna do. 1, 2, 3, big move. Tongs are the best thing because you got noodles now. And here's the fun part. Adding all this Pad Thai sauce. It might look like a lot of liquid, but the rice noodles are gonna soak it all up, trust me. So let this cook down. Once this is cooked for like 2 minutes, it's done. And we're going to add the egg. Also, we should probably get something to taste this with, just to make sure the seasoning's right. It's good. Honestly though, just a little bit more sugar for me. Because we have the savoriness from the preserved radish and also from the tiny little shrimps. So a little bit more sugar will do this nice. Look at that. We're gonna lower the heat a little bit. Find the hottest part of your pan and add an egg to it. Just right there. Boom. And kind of let the egg poach for a second. Like kind of let it set. And then put all the noodles on top of the egg. Break up the egg. Put the noodles on top. Okie dokie. So now we can add all of our protein back in. Woo! Stir it around as best as you can. So now this is done. All we need to do is add the chives and the bean sprouts. So the entire bowl of chives, and I like a lot of green. And almost all of the bean sprouts, I like to save a little bit for the end because I like some fresh and some cooked. I'm gonna turn off the heat now. So, next part, I need to get this in something else. Transfer this. Okay, I'm gonna clear everything away. I'm going to wipe my nonstick pan clean because this is what I'm gonna make my omelet in. And I'm gonna show you how to wrap this whole thing and make Pad Thai omelet. Be right back. Okie dokie, so we are in the final stage. We're gonna get the pan back to hot. The omelet mixture I made earlier, it's best if this stuff sits for a little bit. Okay, so oil in the pan, good amount. So make sure your oil is hot. You can always tell if your oil is hot if it starts rippling. Cooking's very sensory. Okay, it's ready. So, omelet in, make sure you swirl it around. Once it's 90% of the way done, add as much Pad Thai as you want. This is probably gonna be enough for 2 omelets. We have this nice omelet shell. Add the Pad Thai. So now that everything's in, we're gonna crisp the bottoms up. So, let it rip. We're gonna move this to the side while this gets brown and toasty. So essentially, you just wanna cradle the Pad Thai and the omelet. And it seems hard, but the omelet's gonna do like most of the work for you. And then you're just going to take the pan and dip it out. Okie dokie. Heat off. So we're gonna flip one side just a little bit. And we're gonna take it. Okie dokie. Omelet. Pad Thai omelet. Let's garnish. What would Pad Thai be without the giant pile of fresh bean sprouts on the side? The pile of peanuts. I'm also going to just a little bit. Same thing with the chili, just, and also like, you can have a pile of them. There you go. Nice lime wedge. Big piece of cilantro. Cilantro everywhere. Cilantro party. We're finally done. Okay, so that's it. Here it is. Pad Thai omelet. So good. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching Salty Smiles. You made it to the end. Good job! If you could do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, Bon and I, and everyone else at Salty Smiles would truly appreciate it. And until next time, stay smiling. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Spicy.